All right. So one of the things I do like to use ChatGPT for is to generate things, not just ideas, but actual text. This is eventually we'll talk about students and plagiarism. But as a teacher, I like to use it to generate anything from emails to parents or to generate initial feedback that I might use for a writing assignment for a student. And so, yeah, it can do that. That's one of the things everybody knows that ChatGPT can do. It can create things. So, since one aspect of this assignment that we have been creating in the last couple of videos is an essay, all right, let's see. Um, Tell me more about the essay part of this task, just so I don't have to keep scrolling, right? Okay. Okay. All right. So there we go. It kind of reminds me. It selects a character to focus on, gathers evidence from the text. Students should select a character to focus on, gather evidence from the text. They should analyze their character's behavior and motivations. Consider how they relate to the themes and motifs of the story. Yeah, well, okay. It's an essay about, it's a mock debate. I'm not really sure if this essay is what I want, but that's okay. If I don't want it, I would change it. And hopefully I've demonstrated that already. So let's do it. I'm looking to create a exemplar essay that demonstrates mastery. Can you craft one, please? Now, this is, yep. So, I don't really know why it's giving me the titles for different body paragraphs. This is okay, right? It's not great. It's certainly, but depending on the level of student that I would have, it's not bad. But it's showing me at least what it thinks would be what I want. But I just wanted to demonstrate that it can create exemplars for your tasks. If you're asking the kids to create a narrative, it will give you a couple narratives for you to like look at, and and so. If you wanted, I'm not a really big fan of how it creates essays. I can use ChatGPT to create really good essays, but I need to give it many prompts. That will be a different video series. And students are often unaware of how to use ChatGPT to create an actual, genuine, real essay. But at the very least, I could over time through a series of prompts, create an exemplar essay and show the students what such an essay could look like for maybe for a character that none of them are going to use, right? And so, yeah, that's again, ChatGPT can, after you've made an assignment, after you've created rubrics, after you've created the whole expectation and task, you can then ask it to use that prompt or assignment that you've created and give some exemplars. This one's not too great, but this is for an essay. And again, actually creating really good essays can take a little while. But the last thing that I forgot earlier on is some considerations about differentiation, right? So I'm looking for ideas on how to differentiate this entire mock trial activity. I have some advanced students, even though I've never used the word advanced to speak about any student I've ever taught anywhere. I have some advanced students and some struggling learners, I guess. All right. How can I differentiate the tasks in this project to meet all of their needs? See, hopefully you understand that you can ask it questions like this. You can ask it follow-up questions about how I can differentiate, how I can change things, what are pros and cons is a question I've asked earlier. although it's been a little while since we've talked about the actual assignment. So let's see what it does. All right. And again, as professionals, we could probably brainstorm these ourselves. But at the same time, it's not a bad idea to have something in front of you that you're like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Or, yeah, of course I'm going to do that. These are I really do believe that ChatGPT is a great sounding board for ideas, a great sounding board um, for when you are stuck or when you are too busy to balance planning multiple things all at once and you just need a bunch of ideas. This is a good source. So, assign roles based on ability, provide different levels of support. So hopefully it demonstrates it also understands what differentiation means, right? And it can apply it to the task that you just did. Use graphic organizers. Now, again, I'm not going to do it, but as I've demonstrated before, if you said, I need more information about number 3, can you make some graphic organizers for me in table format? It could make some graphic organizers for you. All right, so that's another thing that I wanted to talk about real quick in this video. And then the last idea that I just thought about that I had not incorporated is this. What are some additional resources out there that I can use to help me develop this project? This can be awesome question. This can be an awesome question, or it can be kind of lame. All right. Yeah. Okay. DESI. I've never heard of DESI. Teaching books is nothing I've heard of, but I'd be interested in checking it out. Yeah. See this. Yeah. New York Times. Nothing crazy here. It didn't understand it. I'm specifically talking about the mock trial task. Maybe it thought, honestly, maybe I wasn't clear enough in my prompt. Let's take a look. This project, maybe understood this project to be all of the ideas that we were talking about or a specific thing like differentiation, or I don't know. So let's see if this works. There we go. Something different. All right. Civics education, American Bar Association, national mock trial competition. So it understands what I'm looking for. Generally, street law. I've never heard of that. Okay. Your local court system. I have enough of that at home. So yeah, it's not great. Sometimes it's hit or miss with asking for resources. Sometimes it will, especially for math, it'll always say Khan Academy. It will give you some things that I don't know about. And this was kind of a miss, but I don't know. I'm going to check out iCivics. I'm going to check out the National Mock Trial Competition website. Maybe they have some cool things, right? Provides a model. So I might actually use that. So again, it gave me 11 ideas. Maybe one of them is going to be useful for me, but that's one more than I had before. Final thing about resources. If you ask it for internet links, it will give you links. It will, you know what? I'll show you. It will give you links and they will almost always be wrong. Provide URL links or links and it would understand it either way. And it does. Look at that. Okay. They look really good. And you know what? These are good. All right. I'm sure iCivics.org brings you to the right thing. Yeah, it does. I'm open at iCivics. It brought me to the link, but I can tell you from personal experience, it will confidently give you links to sources, primary sources especially. It'll give you links to specific things that you click it and it's a dead link. It just doesn't work. It brings you to the website but doesn't bring you to the thing because it's not connected to the internet currently. ChatGPT has access to a ton of information, billions of text up to 2021, but it's not accurate all the time in the links that it provides. You're going to have to kind of figure that last step out for yourself. It's not good at citing sources yet. It's just not there in that capacity. All right. So in this last video, to sum up, I just kind of tried to show and demonstrate a few additional things that I can use ChatGPT for in making an assignment, exemplars, differentiation strategies, additional sources, that kind of thing. And so I understand that combined these videos are about 30, 40 minutes long, the total. But if I was not talking at all and not narrating these things, I went from this task, this prompt, I'm planning out a unit, I'm looking for some ideas. Give me a list of ideas. And it went from that all the way to a list, to the task, to some task ideas, to standards that were aligned to it, to student norms, to how to use writing, how a writing standard could be incorporated into the assignment, pros and cons to help me consider whether or not this is something I want to do. Taking all of those ideas and creating an assignment, revising the assignment, revising the task, knowledge of specific educational concepts like focus correction areas and differentiation later on. It created additional assignments based on what I needed it to, as long as I was clear. It created rubrics for me, which were really cool. And hopefully you can see that if the time it took me was, even if it really truly took me the whole half an hour, which it would have not, it would have taken me about 5 minutes. I've done this exact thing in 5 to 10 minutes with a good internet connection. And I've done this entire step. This is kind of the process that I go through. And so hopefully you can see how this can be useful. Obviously you don't need to use all of this, or you shouldn't, but hopefully you try it out and you experiment and take some concept that you're thinking about, some project or some course or some week of a unit that you'd like to expand on or change for next year, and use ChatGPT to help you with that and to save some time. Because this, even if it took 30 minutes, it certainly saved time in the long run. All right, that finishes it up for this video unit on ChatGPT and planning.